Monday. Let me know if you can see me and hear me and all the things. I'm about to go live on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay. Hello, say hi, let me know, like I said, if you can hear me and see me. Yay, happy Monday. Okay, I'm so excited about today's topic. We are talking about trend cycles and how they've shortened and how it just caused us all a big headache in our wardrobe. So this is such an important topic because I hear from you guys all the time, well, I don't want to follow trends. I'm not into trends. I want, I want a modern wardrobe, but I don't want to follow trends. How do you do both? How do you do both? How do you have a modern wardrobe without being a slave to trends? That's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, the first tip, hello, let me know if you can hear me. The first tip is, the first thing I want to talk about is how to spot outdated clothes, how to know if your clothes are out of style, how to spot things that are outdated, because the irony and the annoyance that we all experience is that many of the clothes that are currently in stores are already out of style. They're already out of style. So how do we know what's out of style? How do we know what's in style? Okay, the first thing I want to talk about along those lines is that, and the biggest problem that I see, good morning, everybody. The biggest problem that I see with clothes not looking in style or looking out of date when in the outfit pictures that you guys share with me is that the silhouettes are outdated. So silhouettes change over time. And the single biggest thing that will make your really one of the single biggest things that are going to make your clothes look outdated is to have your silhouette wrong. So trend cycles are really all about shape, and today's silhouettes are changing faster than ever. And for example, think about skinny jeans. Skinny jeans were in style for 15 years. Like, they were the only jean silhouette for a really long time. And this doesn't happen anymore. We're not seeing anything stay in like a silhouette or a trend stay in style for this long anymore. Trend cycles are turning over much more quickly. And the way that we're seeing that first and foremost is in silhouettes. So we had predominantly a long over short silhouette before. We had a loose over tight. So for 10, 15 years, we had skinny pants and tunics, skinny pants and tunics, skinny pants and tunics. We had longer tops, and then we had sleek pants. That was the silhouette for a long time. The silhouette has shifted over the last couple of years, and now we've got wider and more relaxed styles, like we've got more oversized blazers rather than more fitted structured blazers. So the silhouette has dramatically shifted. And this is one of the first things that's going to make your wardrobe look outdated. Has your silhouette kept up with the time? So you have to pay attention to what the dominant silhouettes are in style right now if you want your wardrobe to look modern. But at the same time, you want to balance that with picking silhouettes that flatter your body. So how do you do that? You do that by avoiding extremes. You do that by avoiding extremes in silhouettes. Oversized is an extreme. Skin tight is an extreme. Staying somewhere in the middle with silhouettes is going to be flattering to most women most of the time. And also it's going to be more timeless. It's not going to date your outfits as quickly, and it's not going to create an overall look that very quickly tells people, oh, this was bought in 2017, this was bought in 2012, this was bought in 2024. So it's really staying in that moderate range, looking for blazers that are not tight, but not oversized. They're tailored. Looking for pants that are straight, not skinny, not hugely voluminous. So those moderate silhouettes are the ones that are going to stand the test of time in terms of silhouettes dating, and also be more flattering to most women most of the time. Okay, let's talk about, so silhouettes used to change every 5 to 10 years. Now they're changing every 2 to 3 years. It's nuts. The next thing is that prints and patterns can date your outfit. The next way that your outfits might be dated is through prints and patterns. Now we have prints that are just hot for a moment, like eye cap prints were a little while ago, and prints that just really have a moment and then fade out of the trend cycle. So I always say that details date, details date. So if you're wearing dated prints, your outfits are going to look dated, even if the silhouette and the fit and everything else checks all the boxes. So some prints are timeless, and I talk about these all the time. Stripes, checks, simple plaids, and simple animal prints are timeless, and dots, polka dots. Yes, sometimes they're going to be trending more than others, but they never go out of style. So simple prints are timeless. But in terms of like um, more statement prints, more fashion or trend driven prints like paisleys, these go in and out of style. And so prints can be one of the quickest ways to date your wardrobe. So if you want your wardrobe to be a little bit more timeless, pick prints that are either timeless on their own, they are timeless prints, or pick prints that are very personality driven, that are going to stay in your wardrobe for a long time because they really speak to your personal style. So those are the two categories of prints that are not going to date as quickly. Modern prints are often reinterpreted versions of classic prints. So right now, leopard is modern, and you're going to see versions of leopard in different neutral colors that are going to be like modern takes on leopard. And so often one of the ways that prints can look modern is when we're modernizing a classic. Okay. Like another example of this is abstract or oversized versions of classic prints, like a huge houndstooth as opposed to a smaller houndstooth. However, houndstooth is not going to date. So if you want to keep it timeless, you want to keep the prints moderate, just like you want to keep the scale of the outfits moderate. Okay, third thing, fabrics and finishes reflect trends. So one season we're going to see all sequins, one season we're going to see all velvet, one season we're going to see all nubby textures. One of the textures that has been in style and really prevalent the last couple of seasons is linen, and obviously in warmer weather. So linen is, though, one of those trends that is not really a trend. And I love trends like this because we can invest in them. It means that these pieces are going to be easier to find, but they're not going to go out of style quickly. So linen is a great example of a texture, a finish that was on trend, but is also a classic. So if you want to avoid, textures dating, like obviously don't go all lame this season, don't go all velvet, don't go all all in on any texture. The ones that are going to hold and stand the test of time are wool, cotton, silk. These are averse to trends. They're not going to go in and out of style. Yes, you're always going to see some things more some seasons than others, but they will never go out of style. Okay. Accessories are the thing that cycle through trends the most quickly. So that's the next step. But they're also the easiest way to update your outfit. So we're going to talk about that. Accessories are a really quick way to see what direction trends are heading in. So for example, in like 2010, 2015, we were all wearing huge, chunky statement bejeweled necklaces. And then for a long time, we started wearing dainty layered necklaces. So accessories are really where trends show up first. Now we're seeing bold cuff sculptural earrings and some statement pieces make more of a comeback. So accessories tend to cycle, especially jewelry tends to cycle every 3 to 5 years. Shoes are even faster. Shoes can cycle in a year. So if you really, really like a shoe trend, but it's on its 3rd or 4th year, you may want to consider buying multiples of that shoe trend because it's at the end of its trend cycle. Honestly, I've seen some trend cycles go, especially with shoes, go as quickly as a year. Okay, next is that denim is a really key trend indicator. In the same way that accessories are, denim is a key trend indicator. So skinny jeans, like I said, ruled for over 15 years, but now straight leg, baggy, and even low-rise jeans are coming back. Some of us are going to have a problem with some of these silhouettes. You're always going to stick with a silhouette that works for your body, right? Skinny jeans work for very few bodies. Skinny jeans work on skinny women. They really do. They really do. They work on proportional skinny women. That's who skinny jeans suit. And unfortunately, that was our option for most of us for 10, 15 years. But now we have options. So use your options and find a silhouette that flatters you. So choosing denim that aligns with your style but doesn't feel overdone, like is not over the top. straight leg or a slight flare, slight graduated flare style, slight wide leg style, not super voluminous, but straight to slightly wide leg is always going to be the style that's going to hold up the longest over time. So if you have a strong lower body, you may want to stick with a straight leg. If you've got any of the other body types, you want to look for a slight wide leg. And those are going to be jeans that you can comfortably invest in and know that you're going to have for a long time. Again, you want to keep them simple. You want to keep them simple. You don't want a lot of stuff going on your jeans because details date. Okay, next, colors and their cycles. Now, I say this with reservations because I think that colors should sit outside of trends. We should pick colors based on our coloring, not on what's happening in fashion. The only reason to pay attention to trends in terms of colors is because there are going to be seasons when your colors are easier to find and seasons when your colors are scarce and hard to find, right? So colors, like I'm super, super happy that wine is in style this season because it means I can buy more wine. However, I've always worn wine. I've always worn oxblood. I've always worn burgundy. So your color palette does not need to adjust with the seasons, but you do want to know what's trending so that you can stock up on your best colors when they're in style. So the only exception to this is head to toe bright colors can really signal a trend, like Barbie core with the millennial pink, right? Or the head to toe red with red tights. If red was never a color in your color palette and you're suddenly wearing head to toe red because it's a trend color, that can look a little off. However, red being one of my colors, I don't care if red is in style or not, red is always going to be part of my wardrobe. Okay. Now let's talk about the shortening trend cycles. Now that we've talked about, we covered the different ways that your outfits can date. We talked about silhouettes, we talked about colors, we talked about denim, we talked about accessories, we talked about fabrics, and we talked about just in general how to know prints and patterns, how to know when things are on their way out. Right now, let's talk about the shortening trend cycle and how this is driving us all crazy. Because one of the things I hear all the time is, I don't want to reinvent my wardrobe. I don't want to buy new clothes all the time. I don't want to be, constantly refreshing my wardrobe. It's like a vicious cycle, and it really is. Because what do brands want you to do, and what do stores want you to do? They want you to continue buying clothes. They want you to continue buying more and more and more and more and more and more and more clothes. So, let's talk about the shortening trend cycle. It can feel like it's exhausting to keep up and we're on a hamster wheel. But the key is to focus on two things: longevity and personal style. Now, if you focus on those two things, your wardrobe is not going to go out of style every season. So how do we do this? We do this by longevity is focusing on the modern classics. I have a modern classics wardrobe guide. You can get to it by netamanley.com/modern classics. It's absolutely free. These are the pieces that are going to stand the test of time and give you a good 5 to 10 years, in many cases, much longer of wear. So that is 275 years in modern trend years. So 5 to 10 years is really the longest that most pieces in our wardrobe we can expect most pieces in our wardrobe to really stay in style. That is, obviously there are going to be pieces that are going to sit outside of that and are going to outlast that. Trench coats are an example that comes to mind, but building your wardrobe on the foundation of modern classics is going to give you the longevity. Now modern classics are great, but most of us don't just want modern classics. We also want personality pieces, interesting pieces, fun pieces, statement pieces. How do you bring those into your wardrobe without completely having to reinvent your wardrobe season after season? You do that with personality pieces. So you do that with pieces that so clearly speak to your personal style that when you bring them into your wardrobe, you inject your personal style into your wardrobe. You mix those pieces with modern classics. And when you do that, you're going to have modern, fresh pieces that modern, fresh outfits that reflect your personal style. And the thing about personality pieces, the secret about personality pieces is that they can be as fun and as statementy and as interesting or as cool or subdued or subtle as you want them to be, because they are a reflection of your personal style. And because they reflect your personal style, they don't go out of style. So that's the beauty. That's the way that you can bring fun and personality into your outfits without dating them. Okay, what's trendy? Let's talk about what's trendy and what's classic and what's dated. What do those words truly mean? So trendy items are items that reflect the current moment. They're like items that are like having a moment, right? And the thing about trends, again, is that the trend cycle is shorter than ever. I never feature micro trends in my videos. I never feature micro trends. I try to feature trends that are going to give you like a long enough runway to really wear them and enjoy them and experiment with them. So trends like really oversized blazers, like dopamine dressing, like Barbie, and like even like quiet luxury, even though that was a trend based on classics. Trends are fun but fleeting, right? They're fun, but they go away really, really quickly. What about classics? Classics are pieces that transcend trend cycles. So crisp white button-up, tailored pants, well-fitting black dress. These are pieces that are never going to go out of style. The simpler they are, the more likely they are to have longevity. The more details that they have on them, the less likely they are to stay in style. So prioritizing these pieces, what I call modern classics, are the key to building a wardrobe foundation that can handle trend updates, right? Now, what's dated? Third category. This is a term I use all the time. How do you know when something is dated? Dated clothes are those that really strongly reflect like a past era without a current reinterpretation. So for example, you're wearing a suit from the 1980s, but you haven't done anything, and the pieces haven't been updated or modernized in any way. That's obviously going to be a dated look. So pulling something out of a past era. Now, the challenge with this becomes that past eras are not just the 1980s or 1990s or even early 2000s, where we know that's a past era. The past era now can be 5 years ago, and that's where many of us get stuck and get tripped up. If it was from 10 years ago, if it was from 5 years ago, and it was a trend piece, then it is a dated piece now. So any trends that are 5 years or older, and I want to say, I hate to say this, but any really trendy pieces from 3 years or more ago are now out of style. They're now dated, because that's what trends are. We don't invest in trends unless we're prepared to cycle through them. And if we don't want to cycle through them, then you want to keep trends to a minimum. So dated pieces reflect a past era, and that era can be 2020 without a current reinterpretation. So if I were to pull out my juicy velour tracksuit from 2001, I would look like I was at a different era. If there's not a modern version of that, then you need to leave it in the past. Okay, let's talk about how to blend styles so that you can get a modern look, again, without completely reinventing your wardrobe. So the first thing is to mix trendy pieces with classics. Now, the easiest way to introduce trends into your wardrobe without it taking over your whole wardrobe is through accessories. So if you wear a head-to-toe outfit of modern classics and you add trend forward accessories, you're going to be able to update your wardrobe without having to reinvent your wardrobe from season to season. So accessories are the easiest way to inject some trends and to update your everyday outfits. An example of this is like if you pair a classic trench coat with lug sole boots, or if you try a timeless knit sweater, but you're wearing a statement scarf. These are going to be ways that you're going to be able to combine trends and timeless pieces to create modern outfits and not have to reinvent your wardrobe from season to season. Okay, how do we keep our wardrobes fresh? We purge regularly. If you're not currently going through the boot camp with us, I would encourage you to check it out. I do have the link pinned in the Facebook comments, but it's netamanley.com/bootcamp. I'm giving a lot of extra support in there. And for those the women in boot camp who go through all 14 days of boot camp, I'm going to do a wardrobe assessment. I'm going to assess their wardrobe and give them some tips on how they can improve their wardrobes quickly and easily. It's only $47 to join in. We do have a live workshop tomorrow, so I would definitely encourage you to check that out. But you want to consider purging your wardrobe regularly. You want to evaluate your closet every season. If something feels tired to you, or you're just bored of it or over it, it might be time to let it go. Next tip is to add trends sparingly. If you see a trend that you just are like, oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. I felt that way with the Barbie pink because I love hot pink and it's a color that I wear regularly. So if you see a trend that really speaks your language, that's a trend to consider bringing in a couple of pieces, but add trends sparingly and selectively. You do not have to buy something just because it's trendy. It also has to speak to flattery for you, has to speak to your lifestyle, it has to work with your coloring, it has to work with your personal style. Oh, I love this question from Elaine. I wonder if I need to start putting the year I bought something on the garment label to help me weed out a trend. That's a great suggestion. Photographing those daily outfits and photographing new items as you buy them and having that catalog of your items can also be a good way to kind of keep track of when you bought something and whether it's on its way out. So adding trends sparingly is, a trendy bag, a scarf, or a pair of shoes can instantly update a classic outfit, right? We talked about that. Invest in versatile classics. Those are the modern classics. And then experiment with accessories and colors. That's where we can have fun and we can inject a lot of personality into our wardrobe without completely reinventing our style. So scarves, jewelry, handbags, shoes, those are low risk ways to like try on things and decide whether those trends are for you. Okay, so I want to hear from you now. Do you feel pressured to keep up with trends? Have you been dressing the same way since 2015 and completely ignored trends? There is a middle way that works for most of us. It's not being a trend chaser or a fashion victim, and it's not being a trend ignorer or I'm going to sit in my bubble and dress exactly the same way I've been dressing for 20 years. There's a middle ground that can help us look modern and fresh and have fun with style without feeling overwhelmed, without feeling pressure to hop on every latest fad. So trends are not fads. So we're going to look at trends differently and inserting and injecting some updates and some trends into our wardrobe without feeling like we need to chase every fad. Okay, so good morning to those of you who are watching live. Fish and Floral said, I love burgundy too, and have taken advantage of its current popularity to add several new pieces. Yeah, so trends are, I love that. Trends are an opportunity to bring pieces into our wardrobe that will work with our wardrobes, not an opportunity to wear something that is so outside of our flattery or color or comfort zone that we will never end up wearing it. You try to add trends that appeal to you. Yes, yes. Trends that appeal to you, trends that really speak your love language. You might be overindulging in trends, Heartflight said. Okay, so if you feel like you are overindulging in trends, I will say that the way to get around this is to start small at the beginning of a season, but also at the beginning of a season, really identify some things that you're really excited about, and then give yourself a couple of weeks. Often I do some fantasy shopping. I put items in a cart, and then I abandon the cart. This has two benefits. The first is that often the brand will email you a coupon because they know that you've abandoned the cart and they want you to buy. But the second is that if I don't remember some of the pieces I added to the cart, chances are those are pieces that I didn't love enough to need to buy. So give yourself a little bit of time before hopping on a trend. That said, if you see something and you love it so much and it totally speaks your love language and you can see it being a pivotal piece in your wardrobe, buy it at the beginning of the trend cycle and not at the end of the trend cycle so that you get the most use out of it. You buy what you love that loves you back, and that's fabulous. Buying what you love that loves you back is always going to be the foundation of every fabulous outfit. However, we do want to keep our outfits we want to keep our outfits modern, and trends can play a role in that. So the extent that we choose to indulge in trends is often a personal style question, but I feel like trends are more important as we get older because we want to look modern, but it's selectively sprinkling some trends into your wardrobe and not making them the main part of your wardrobe. That's what's going to keep our wardrobes fresh and current. So love you guys so much. Thank you so much for those great comments. Let me know in the questions if you have any questions about trends. If you want to know if something in your wardrobe is outdated or if it's in style, just share away. If you want to share visual examples of things that you want me to give you feedback on, hop into my Closet Confidence Facebook group. It is linked here, or in my Netta Manley Style VIP Facebook group, and tag me in those groups. Love this. Okay, abandoned a cart lately and saw that I have multiples of everything in it. So yeah, it's so nice to be able to find your favorite colors when they're on trend. So love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me. sorry, I'm having a question about color. What about color? Please elaborate. Colors should suit you first, and then you should see if you can find them. You need to know what your color palette for your wardrobe is and stay true to that color palette. When you find colors that are in style that suit your color palette, that's when you stock up on them. And they're not going to go out of style, and they're not going to date because they're colors that work for you. I'm always going to wear red. I'm always going to wear wine. I'm always going to wear black and white. Okay. Love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.